I'm just gonna go to that original YouTube link that's in there. I feel that. I just right click and hit loop on the video. Yeah, you've been able to do that for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. You might, I don't know. Do you have your ad block on? Okay. Right, totally. Anyway, then you should be fine.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Stream decided not to get my microphone. Good thing I'm checking all this before we properly start.
Yeah.
All right.
I like how you're on the ending screen, by the way.
No, yeah, we're on that until we actually like transfer over correctly. Which speaking of, we can go ahead and do that.
There you go.
Yep. So yeah, I do have some stuff planned. It's gonna be a lot of intro stuff, but I think it's gonna be a lot of fun because y'all know how I've been running these games, and so far everyone seems to be really enjoying the off-the-cuff style.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But without further ado, does anybody need anything or any questions on their character sheet? Last time, we should have been able to take some time to level our characters up to level 4, gain any extra abilities we didn't have previously, and if you had the ability to, increase your weaponry by giving it a property rune. Plus, everyone got magic items.
Yeah.
I literally was like, what is this short sword that I remembered? It's my obsidian sword, isn't it?
Yep. I figured it would be a lot easier to go in and to properly fiddle with an actual like short sword and just name it something different.
Mm-hmm. What was the name of my weapon again? Because I could just rename this right now.
The Pele sword.
The Pele sword. I thought it. Well, damn. I guess it didn't. No, it didn't change it.
Yeah.
So it was called the Lava Stone sword.
Thank you.
Oh, which actually does remind me. I
There
actually
we go.
need to do one thing to your sword. It inherently needs to get a potency rune to it. Otherwise, it wouldn't even be able to have the magical thing on it.
Mm-hmm.
So then striking rune and then property rune. And you know what? Let me actually go in here. Here we go. So let me see what flaming does. This says flaming damage 1d6. Give me 1 second to look that up. Archives of methods. Let's see here. A weapon is empowered by flicking flames, 1d6 fire, not 10 persistent fire damage on critical hit. Okay, so that actually works very well. So what I ended up doing for your blade, Ellie, is that actually using the mechanics built in, the sword would be a lot stronger if I made it a proper flaming sword. So instead of making it to where it was going to be a pain in the ass for you to use it, I just kind of depowered it a little.
Mm-hmm.
So you're still going to get the 2d6. You still have to interact with it at least once to make the sword go into flames, but you only get the additional 2d6 period. So like flaming in Pathfinder, you get a 1d6, but then you get a persistent 1d10 on top of that. So it's a little bit weaker.
Okay.
In the future, if you like really like the Lava Stone Sword, you can upgrade it to be properly flaming and thus be a lot stronger.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
And then let me do a little bit quieter. So I want the music to be present, but I don't want it to be so loud that like no one can hear anything.
I need to turn mine down too.
Okay, and with that, I think we are pretty much
Alright.
ready to go.
Neat.
Alright. And I'll get rid of that. Welcome, everybody, to session 6 of Lock and Load.
Yay!
Last time, the group managed to be introduced to a couple of the still living and relevant nobles of the Banahaw Port. We were given rewards for being able to assist greatly in keeping everyone alive and getting Banahaw back to the people. We were given some magical items, generally based off of the kindness of Banahaw, on a preliminary use, essentially, where the ideas of these magical items are to be kept within the context of helping Banahaw. However, we are allowed to either purchase them or do a great deed to keep them specifically, aka giving Banahaw time to replace whatever item we take from them.
Okay.
But it also gives us the ability to trade in the item over time if we are not entirely happy or find that we don't really have a use for them.
Okay.
Beyond,
Gotcha.
yeah, very much stealing from the Adventure Zone doing this. Sometimes them boys come up with good ideas. I'm like, ooh, I want to do that.
I would eat
That's
it.
I want to eat
that's mine now.
this is mine. Thank you. Other than that, and I actually just now realized I need to give myself a second dueling pistol because that is where we landed on things. Boop.
Oh, by the way.
Yeah.
So like with my hand wraps, they give me +1 to hit, and they double my damage die. Would I have to do that manually, or does that factor automatically?
That should factor automatically, but let me go ahead and take a look-see with your wraps. So you actually, like, equipped the item, right?
Yes.
Okay, we have to invest in them for one thing.
Knowing that correctly, that should make it from a
I knew that.
You deal damage according to the unarmed
4
attack,
to
including
D8?
modifiers.
D6.
Roll the attack and then boop-doop-doo. Let's see here. As you invest these embodiments, +1 item bonus to attack rolls with your unarmed strikes, and increase the damage of your unarmed attacks from 1 weapon die to 2, aka 2.
Oh.
Okay, so whatever your current like unarmed strike like whatever your bonuses are, like you get 2 of those. But if your fists have a different weapon damage die or have other unarmed attacks, use 2 of that die size instead. You can upgrade and add transfer runes to and from the hand wraps just as you would with a weapon, and you can attach talismans to the hand wraps. Okay. Now here's what I'm actually kind of curious about. Can you
So
also...
from 1d4 to 2d4, and then whatever your regular attack bonus is, +1.
Yeah, what's your because like you took something to where like your damage for unarmed strikes is a little bit stronger than normal, right?
Yeah. Because of my ancestry, I've got a 1d6.
Okay, yeah, so you would do a 2d6 instead.
Right, okay.
Yeah, see? Let me actually double check something to make sure it's gonna do what you want it to. Modified strength, think what you'll just have to do is just be very careful when you do this, because for whatever reason it didn't really add it. Let's see here. Class, champion, heritage, Talos. Let me take a look here. You gain consistent electrical. You gain. You said it's a heritage, or it's like a feat you picked up?
It should be the heritage. It's from the Talos heritage. Basically gives me metal hands.
Middle hands.
Because it gives my hands the lethal trait and bumps up the die.
Choose from the Talos traits. Okay. So that should be in your feats section. Not seeing it yet here. Ancestry. Feruzal. Here we go.
Ferrosol.
Your fist damage die increases to a 1d6. Yep, straight up there. However, it looks like your thing hasn't been updated for it, so we're gonna fix that. And yeah, the hand wraps let you do even more. So, well, you know what? I actually want to kind of see if it will. Yeah, it still says 1d4, so we need to fiddle with that. Oh, unless.
Why does Markov have a +7 in diplomacy?
That's a great question, hon.
What happened there?
I don't know. He has a +7 in deception, intimidation, and diplomacy.
I mean, those two together would give you good diplomacy skills.
That is
Yeah.
true.
I was about to say, what is he, a politician?
He might be.
God.
He's just Senator Armstrong.
Oh my god, yes.
Nanomachine, son! So, you have this thing called Fist. What is that from?
I don't know.
Roll the attack. Compare okay, so that's something. So, I'm gonna say, for the foreseeable future, just because I don't really know how to get this to do what we want, because I can't really change unarmed attack. Base bludgeoning.
Oh, hold up.
Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah. Cause my I formerly had +9 to hit, and now I've got +10.
Yeah, but whenever you go to roll damage, it still says a D4. For simplicity's sake, just remember to use the die table at the bottom of chat and just roll 2d6 plus your strength mod.
Okay.
And then your strength mod's a +3, so. Yeah, so that'll work out. It's kind of the same thing that Ellie has to do with their sword. They have to manually roll 2d6. But that will work just fine. You privately rolled that. You were aware of that, Miles?
I didn't think it would show up. I meant to.
It's still going
I
to
wanted
say
to
you
roll it out.
rolled. It still says you're gonna roll. Like, it still shows that you rolled privately. It's just we can't see it.
It's like, let me get these bad rolls out now because I feel it. I feel the curse upon me. And it was a 4, so I was slightly correct.
I am accepting whatever Lady Fate has decided to bestow upon me upon this day.
Your snake dies.
Dice Christ be first.
All right. With that, we can go ahead and begin session 6 properly. The first thing I want to do is ask everyone if there's anything anybody wants to do. We have, air quote, 2 months of downtime for our characters to run around and do something. This is literally for the fun of whatever you want your characters to do. I've got something in mind for Wander, but I want to see if anybody else wants to either do a little bit of shopping, interact with the town, whatever you guys like feel you're most interested in.
So Zuriel starts all this off whenever they're like, yeah, and you get like your own sort of like plot of land. Zuriel's like, great, fantastic. And so he's been spending a lot of time on that little plot of land, like with a garden and like trying to build a little bit of a cabin or whatever. And as he kind of realizes this garden is kind of a bit of a waiting game, he's gonna end up just like walking around town. He doesn't know very much how to like interact with people because the only other people before like traveling, the only other people he ever interacted with were his family. So
Okay, I like it. So then we're gonna go ahead and we're back down to a chaos factor. Once again, for everyone listening, the way that we play Pathfinder and a lot of my TTRPGs nowadays is we're using a combination of other side books, primarily the Mythic GM emulator, where we get to roll some dice and explore and come up with a story as we're playing it. I come up and prep certain fights and certain events preemptively, but then everything in the middle is something we all get to have fun with. So, because of that, Ellie, go ahead and have Zuriel roll me 2d10. Okay, so that is a 9. So that means I'm going to roll on a separate table to see what kind of shenanigans we're about to get into.
I should
Right,
say
go.
that. I should say that, like, at least one time during all of this, Markov has just gone into town and just people watched.
Very valid.
such a vibe.
All right, 75. It is a PC negative. So, something happens to Zuriel that is less than ideal while they're out and about in the city.
He gets mugged.
Oh no!
I know one specifically for Zuriel.
Oh.
Oh.
And so first off, Baz, there are a type of Dragonborn in Pathfinder, right?
Not entirely. The closest thing to Dragonborn in Pathfinder is Beastkin or Kobolds.
Oh my god.
I remember Zuriel's phobia.
Oh no!
Yeah. He's just very scared of dragons.
Of
okay?
dragons.
Dragons are very scary.
Dragons are very scary. Oh, I almost forgot.
Based on what just
Zuriel
happened,
gets
that's
mugged by
fair.
kobolds.
Oh my god.
I'm crying. See, okay. Saying the word mugged makes it seem like, oh no, this is like a really bad thing. To Zuriel, it's like a bunch of little dragons walking along and they like approach him and he just screams and like throws something at him and runs away.
Okay. Let's go ahead and okay. So Zuriel, you kind of come up on a couple of kobolds who are just kind of doing their own thing, and then I think this also might be a little like traumatizing for Zuriel because it was both dwarves and kobolds who were being androidified. So this probably is also Zuriel just kind of freaking out. I'm expecting the scene to be that the kobolds understand Zuriel's panic without fully comprehending why Zuriel's freaking out, but I don't know that they're going to respond kindly. What do you guys think?
I think they'd be like, what the fuck, we're just sitting here, why are you yelling?
That's racist.
No, I don't think he yells immediately, because like I think what he does is he walks up, like not to them, just like near them, and like he's like just stunned, like trying to think. I think he's like trying to figure out in his mind an escape route, even though it's an open space. He can just turn and walk away. He doesn't realize that in the moment because he's just seeing like these random people that previous like just like it's frightening to him right now. And so like he's stunned, and then I think maybe one of them like looks over and is just like, "Fuck you staring at us for?" And then like he just like startles. I don't know if he like actually throws something or not. And he just like starts quickly trying to get away.
Scurrying away like a cat.
Just absolutely just having a moment. Okay, so Zuriel just kind of jumps at that. The kobolds do not take kindly to this reaction, even though things have been a little chaotic. And Zuriel, you start to run away. Here's the question. Do we want to let it up to the scene to decide if Zuriel continues to make a total ass of themselves, or do you want to roll with Pathfinder rules?
What would I roll?
I guess essentially is the ability to hide, if you were gonna use the Pathfinder rules. Scene-wise, I would just roll on the Mythic table again to see if things go your way or not.
Let's do that. That sounds more fun.
Okay, roll me another set of, let me see here.
D10.
Go ahead and roll me 1d10.
Okay.
Okay, 8. And so the scene is going to be as we expect it to be, which is Zuriel's just going to kind of run and hide.
I'm gonna find the couple of strongest people that I know. Markov is first.
Like, Markov is like walking down the street or something, and Z just like pounces on him like a cat. He's like, "What the fuck? What?
Small dragons!
Where did you come from?"
Small dragons!
Picks up Zuriel by the back of his shirt like a cat. And he's like, "Those are kobolds."
They're like small dragons. I don't know what you want from me.
They're like small dragons.
They are indeed small dragons. Why are they running after
You
you?
have... I don't know. I was just walking, minding my own business. They started yelling at me. They scared the
What's to
shit
the
out of me.
kobold?
The kobold would respond very much more truthfully, unlike Zuriel, saying they were minding their own business walking through, and then Zuriel, along with a handful of people today, just saw them and jumped in fear, and it's getting very uncomfortable and very insulting.
Marco puts up a hand and throws Z over his shoulder like a sack of potatoes and says, I apologize for my compatriot. Is there anything we can do to make it so that he does not die?
Okay, so I'm gonna roll on the fate die, but I'm gonna give this a positive 3 because I don't think the kobolds are hostile. They're just really insulted. But I like the phrasing.
Yep.
Gonna use that diplomacy, baby.
All they really wanted was to contact Zuriel about his extended car warranty.
His cart warranty.
His cart warranty.
Jesus. So yeah, 15. They're more so just annoyed with the current state of Vanaha. Every time a dwarf or a kobold like kind of goes through right now, they're kind of getting double uptaked because of. By this point, I think the city has known about the details of why these individuals attacked, and so people are kind of being unceremoniously paranoid, and the kobolds are just very annoyed by this.
I do apologize for my compatriot. I would go ahead and have a stern talking to.
I just don't know what you're talking about, stern talking to. They scared me. I was minding my business.
Markov
Zuriel's
at you.
Jesus.
The kobolds will walk away, not per se satisfied, but sated with this, since one of you is being very sensible. So now the question is Markov going to explain the concept of racism bad to Zuriel?
Racism. Grabs Zuriel by the shoulders. Racism bad.
What the fuck are you saying to me? I don't know what these words are. What?
they are just people. You do not get to. They are just trying to live. Do not be scared by them.
I didn't do anything. I didn't say anything to them. I may have walked up and had a moment where I kind of stood there and looked at them for a minute, but I didn't say anything to them. Like, I didn't insult them or anything. I just looked at them. All I did
Am
was
I
look at
able
them.
to intimidate him?
You already are.
Okay, I want to make this a thing that, like, if you guys don't mind, I actually think Wander would have, like, gone out with Markov just to shoot the shit. So, like, he's shown up at this point and is like, I mean, you did come running to Markov, pointing and screaming that, dragon people, oh my god, dragon people, they're gonna kill me.
I did not say they were gonna kill me.
No, but
Markov's the one that brought up killing.
You're right, but the intention
right.
and the scene you were making implied that the kobolds had done something wrong to you.
They started chasing me.
They were literally standing there, and you ran to Markov, and they said, yo, that was racist and bullshit.
I don't... Okay.
Zuriel
Zuriel just...
Zuriel,
Huh?
you can't run around like something's trying to hunt you in the forest when you're in a city like that unless someone is actively trying to hit you. Like, you can't just jump and scream. They weren't. They were not.
I thought... My mistake, then.
Alright.
The dragons are people too.
Though I point towards like where the kobolds went. I'd be like,
Immediately.
yes,
As
those yes, I get our people.
Markov grabs your finger and puts your hand out.
No, yeah, I was gonna say, like, as you're saying this, Wander would also go, don't point, that's rude.
Yes, they are people. Dragons? Dragons are not people.
Kobolds are both dragon and people.
They're dragon
Good
related.
for them then. Good for them then. Dragons? Kobolds? Yeah, they can be.
Zuriel, do you want
I can accept that.
You want to?
Dragons?
Zuriel, do you want to talk about it? It seems like you kind of had a traumatic experience with the dragon, other than the one we fought 2 months ago. Okay, excellent. Would you like to elaborate?
Remember how I said I fell?
I'm gonna be honest with.
Fell down some stairs.
I kind of thought you meant metaphorically.
No, I was being very literal.
Do you think this man has the capability to be metaphorical?
I'm gonna be honest, I want to think the best of all of you, and right now the only person who seems to ever meet my expectation of consciousness is Sarge. And that's saying a lot. Because that man has seen some shit.
That's fair.
Just cut away to Sarge at a bar drinking a pint.
Yeah.
Just in the middle of their drink, they have to stop it. Oh, wrong pipe!
Like, that was terrible. That was tough.
Goes back to drinking. So, did you get a good look at the dragon?
No. It was like, yeah, I know it was small because if it was a big dragon, I wouldn't be here right now. If it was like a full-grown dragon, I would not be here right now. I'm pretty sure it was little.
I'm gonna roll for a recall knowledge, and see if maybe Wander has heard of creatures like that. His intelligence is a 1, so I'm gonna get a d20 and a +1. I'm gonna say like, oh hell yeah, let's go!
Oh, nice!
That sounds like it was either a wormling or maybe even some kind of wyvern variant. There's a handful of different creatures that are kind of like kobolds, related to dragons, but they're more bestial. They're kind of more like humans are to monkeys, essentially.
Oh.
I mean, to be fair, your fear is relevant. Like, you get enough of those fuckers together in a pack, and they can eat a whole person alive within minutes.
You say that as Zuriel's face turns into this, because like at first he was just like, you see it on his face, he was thinking, maybe I should go apologize to those people now. And as you're talking about like they could tear a whole person apart in minutes, his jaw just drops. He's just like, why would you say that to me?
Because you need to know the difference between an actual beast and a person.
No, I'm getting it now, and I feel like I'm kind of embarrassed, and I will go apologize to them. Maybe when I'm not so like wanting to hide my face, but
Pats him on the shoulder. It's like that's a good way of thinking about him, man.
I will go with you.
I appreciate that because, and I just like pat him on the arm. I pat Markov on the arm. We'll just make this a circle of pats. Okay.
You know,
Markov just grabs you by the head. No need, doesn't even pat, just grabs your head.
Oh, God.
You know, my better judgment tells me I should go with you, but that just sounds too funny to go wrong. So you two have fun with that when you feel the need to go do it.
Yeah, a little bit. Okay.
You do anything special, Zuriel? I was going ahead and getting a couple of different supplies. I was thinking I could make us some soup today.
Soup. What kind?
You know what? The good thing you joined, kind of up in the air about it. Was kind of going to just go to the market and see what all was available.
Bean soup.
We're doing more than just beans.
But I like beans.
It can have beans in yours if you want it.
Potato. Beans and potato.
I hope Sarge and Rat actually want something consistently good, like meat or carrots.
Beans have protein.
Yeah, but beans are beans, and they're boring. That's why they start with a B.
I mean, I figured we were going around in a circle and adding one ingredient each. Markov said beans, I said potato.
Wait, hold on a minute. That's actually a great idea.
Like you're like you're lacking now.
No, you were correct. My imagination was not peaked. Now it is. I like this plan. So we got beans, potatoes, carrots. Are both of you like beef or chicken people? And at that point, we'll cut the scene off. I like that. Speaking of Sarge, is there anything you want to be doing for your 2 months of downtime?
I feel like Sarge has mostly just been going around trying to be of use around town.
Mm-hmm.
Like I figure he's a pretty restless guy by nature. Just what with him being a reluctant combat medic, I feel like he's usually like, if there's the sounds of stuff going wrong, he'll show up in the hopes of being able to get into something.
Mm-hmm.
So he's probably gotten into a couple of bar fights and then patched up the guys he fought with. Probably became best friends with a couple of them.
I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. Go ahead and roll a d10.
Okie dokie.
That falls under the chaos factor, and that also means we get an interrupted scene. Ooh. So let me look in the book here.
Rat, go ask him why.
Roll me a d100.
Okay.
Ah, damn.
18, which means a new NPC. Okay. Let me go ahead and pull up the table for that.
Josh.
What?
Wolfgang.
I'm not against that. However, this is more of a Worm scene, so I guess what I'll do is ask you this, Worm. We have a villain character that we want to slowly introduce for the future. If you're out and about helping people and making friends with everyone in the city, Do you want it to be a randomly new NPC, or do you want us to introduce this character?
I don't mind meeting a new villain.
Okay.
Because Wolfgang is also a medic, or he was.
Ooh.
Now.
Oh God, I know who you're talking about.
Oh my God.
So, Honey,
fear of
if
God
you
is
can
just
go ahead and
killing me.
describe what Wolfgang looks like, I'm gonna find a table to see what kind of situation Wolfgang is currently in.
So, Wolfgang, he's a older human man. He's like in his like mid-50s. He's got like long, straight, gray hair, and like a kind of a bushy beard. He's got these like big round Coke bottle glasses, and he's dressed like not casually, but not formally, like business casual. What would he be doing?
We're about to find out because I'm rolling some dice. So we got 2d10, which means... Sorry, 2d100, so it's a 99 and a 6, which means he is working and he's anxious. So Worm, while we have Wolfgang, while you're out and about doing stuff, you see this individual, and he seems to be diligently like writing down notes, making pinpoints of something, but talking and kind of murmuring to themselves in the corner. And they definitely seem restless. Like he hasn't slept well in a few days. Foot's tapping pretty regularly. And if he does start to walk, he doesn't pull his head up from his notes, but he does seem to like very much give people distance. He doesn't want to get close to them.
Sorry, I've already forgotten. Where are we?
We're still in Bandaha. It's this is.
Oh no, I mean like when I come upon him, like are we in like
Like a bar or something.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave that up to you. So you've been helping people within the city. Do you want to be like you happen to see him while you're like doing some relaxation, or maybe you're just finishing up a job?
I want to say
Maybe in a
like
clinic.
actually I want to say like in something of a tavern, like
Okay.
or an inn,
Give me
because
All right, I'm gonna roll some dice. Or actually, I'm gonna ask you to roll some dice, and we're gonna name this tavern.
okay.
Roll me 2d12. Okay, and that's gonna be a 5 and a 4. So this can either be called the Spotted Kettle or the Plum Glove.
Definitely Spotted Kettle, which works well.
Okay, then as a 1d4, would Sarge ever go to a place that was below his standards? Like, what are Sarge's standards for a tavern?
Not falling down.
Okay,
Structurally sound.
so then we're gonna roll a 1d4 here. You decide you felt bougie today. You felt like you wanted to go to a fantastic tavern. The Spotted Kettle is like the place to be. Has a very like elaborate history with an old woman who invested in this kind of work, and she just worked her tail off to keep the people happy.
Stitch's daughter's bar.
You know what? I like that's it's actually one of Raspberry Stitch's old business ventures. She since let it go to run itself, but every so often she comes back to visit.
God, I love Raspberry Stitch.
I know, right? Okay, so Sarge goes to Spotted Kill. Stitch.
Everything's on the fly, folks.
It's awesome.
It's very fun. All right, so since you are at this tavern and pretty much the vibe that you get is very like, it's, I would say that like knowing Raspberry Stitch, it's not fancy, it's just very well constructed and it's very much like a family sort of setting.
It's homey.
Yeah.
It's like I'm imagining like the first like tavern that you go to in Red Dead 2, like in Valentine.
Yeah, I like that. So the question is, as you see this man, Sarge, what do you want to do?
The first thing Sarge is going to want to do is he's going to want to see about getting a pot of a nice calming tea and 2 cups sent over to this guy's table, along with himself, of course.
Okay.
Something like a nice green mint tea. Or jasmine tea, something to soothe the nerves.
Okay.
Minty.
As this is served, let's go ahead and roll to see if Wolfgang responds well to this. Asking for your perspective, Hun, do you think Wolfgang would positively react to like that kind of offer, and how positive do you think he would be?
So, I think that the server would give him the tea, and he would look up. He said, "I didn't order this." The server would tell him that Sarge gave it to him, and be like, "All right, isn't gonna look to gift horse in the mouth and start drinking some of it."
Okay, so I'll get a +1 to this roll. 12. Wolfgang isn't like doesn't have their guard down per se, but they are approachable. So if you choose to, you can.
I do.
All right.
I walk up to the table. Sorry, couldn't help but notice you looked a little anxious. Too much stress on the nerves. You know, it's bad for your health.
I definitely get the idea that Wolfgang, and I'm saying this, one is the dungeon master, and 2 to get your perspective, Hun, since this is your character.
You want me to voice him?
If you want, I also am open to the idea of us like playing this by ear to see how he responds to things.
I like it when the character actually talks and you. So, it's up to you. Either I can talk for him, or
Yeah, go for it. I would say if you want to go ahead and talk to him and have a scene with Worm, I think the current mood that Wolfgang's going to be is that he'll do pleasantries, but the deeper that Sarge digs into the past, and I'll roll for that, the more he's going to be a little apprehensive against him.
okay. Wolfgang's gonna look up. He's gonna close his little book of notes. He says, well, I can never have enough rest where I'm from, I suppose. Who do I have the pleasure of meeting?
The name is Sarge goes to call himself Sarge, and then he like sort of remembers himself, like, yes, Master Sergeant Broderick Blacksteel, at your service, sir.
Wolfgang goes to stand up and shakes your hand, and he says, "Oh, a sergeant! I didn't know that we had some of the military personnel around town today."
Well, no, not as such. Turned in my commission a while ago, but some of the old mannerisms just haven't quite shaken yet.
Okay, all right. I should introduce myself. My name is Wolfgang Daver. I am a traveling herbalist.
Really?
Yes.
Now that is interesting. I'm actually trained as a combat medic myself.
Who are you?
Raised in the healing houses, if you can believe it. Certainly I'd retain a passing interest in many associated fields, though I will admit to not being trained as an herbalist.
There are a lot of nuances to herbalism. Some plants look look like they can help you, others look like they can kill you, but it's vice versa. It's a delicate process.
I can imagine.
But I do appreciate the tea. It is very well appreciated, and he gives a little toast and drinks some of it.
To your health, then, sir.
Likewise.
So, Sarge, given that you approach this slightly shadier character and they are, treating you kind of well, is there anything specific you want to ask or try to perceive from this gentleman?
Still sticking to subtly probing small talk. I just want to know what brings him to town. Like, is he from here? Is he visiting? Did he come here on business? Yada, yada, yada.
Okay, one.
I am just traveling, passing through. I'm looking for a specific type of herb that is a little ways down the road.
Oh, okay. A little foraging. Always good to be on the lookout for supplies, I suppose.
Oh, yes. This one has been eluding me, though. It's, quite rare.
Interesting.
No common name yet, but I hope to be the first to name it.
Well, ambitious sort then. I can appreciate that. Never
Medicine
really
needs you to be ambitious.
but that ambition has to be tempered by good sense, of course. Doesn't do to reach too far beyond the veil for somebody who's already passed along.
Well, with magic and everything, you never know.
You never know, but you should have a feeling, I figure.
That is true. But with just straight medicine, there is a limit, I agree.
Why, I have a recent compatriot I've started working with, who is, I admit, if not a medical marvel, a medical nightmare.
Oh. I did hear about the androids of the kobolds and the dwarves. That was one reason I did want to come here and just pass through.
That was a harrowing experience, yes. A member of my party was quite helpful during that, and I can't help but at that, like, Sarge pauses and stares into the middle distance. I can't help but tremble in fear at the implications of his biology.
Wolfgang raises an eyebrow.
Anyways, as I'm sure you know, sometimes certain pathologies and diagnoses are difficult to render, apply, and reckon with. But it is providing a worthwhile distraction while I suppose we could say cooling our heels.
That is true. With being an herbalist and everything, I do have quite a, a repertoire of helping people relax. I do have a little bit of something, and he pulls out a briefcase from beside him on the floor, and he says, I do have a little bit of something if you would like to cool down a little bit, as you said.
Oh, I'm more of the active relaxation type, if you catch my drift. Though I appreciate the offer.
Very well. I will always be here if you need anything, although at this point I will ask for a price for my services.
Understood. Anything worth doing well is worth getting paid for.
Exactly, my.
Somewhere in the distance, Wander sneezes.
Well, if it's all the same to you, I must get back to my research. I will be retiring here pretty soon. But it was very nice to meet you, Lieutenant or Sergeant. Excuse me.
Like you Wolfgang will notice like a strong, even though it's like Sarge is actively suppressing it, like his neck twitches and you can see his like the corner of his mouth start to curl. Like he knows how he would have reacted when he was still on tour to someone getting his rank wrong. But like he's actively trying to shake a lot of those habits. He's like, no. Yes, well, it was very nice meeting you, and I wish you well in your endeavor. Just a quick, if you don't mind me asking, should I happen upon certain, herbs in my travels that you might be interested in, is there anything you'd want me to be on the lookout for? We are, of course, at this moment based here in, I wanted to say banana so bad. Here in Banaha, so we will be circling back around even after, whilst on adventures and the like. Is there anything you want me to keep an eye out? Maybe something we could do a little trading with?
I will certainly say that if you find any of the like common medicinal herbs lying around, I will certainly pay for them if you were to find any. As for the herb that I am specifically looking for, do not trouble yourself. It is very paramount that I myself find it. He kind of like looks around. I want the glory all to myself, if I'm being quite honest.
Say no more. Say no more. I wish you well then, sir.
As to you, my friend.
And Sarge will leave.
I'm gonna go ahead and
Nice.
ask Sarge to do one perception check for me.
Okay. Perception. Waha. Whoo!
Okay. So I rolled on the fate dice to see if this was something that would have. So with a 17 being an exceptional yes, Markov does have something on them that they're kind of trying to keep from someone
Wolfgang.
seeing. Sorry. Yeah, Markov is there now.
Where am I?
How did they get here? Wolfgang has something on them that they're kind of trying to keep close to their chest that, like, if they were caught with, would be a little suspicious. And with that 28, I would say that at the very least, Sarge would get a glimpse at as he's, like, getting up from the table and maybe, like, tilting his head slightly. Maybe he gets a glimpse of the notebook, or maybe there's something within under Wolfgang's pockets. I guess what I want to ask Hun is, do you know anything that Wolfgang would have on him that Sarge would see that would make Sarge go, what the fuck?
He might have like a little vial of like, maybe of the like metallic substance stuff that was on the androids.
Oh, I like
Hey, yo,
that a
what the fuck?
lot. Ooh, that's perfect.
Ooh, how to play that?
Message me in the middle of us doing that.
I am filled with so much fear.
I don't like that Sarge almost ratted me out. Pun intended.
Ready.
That was terrifying.
If Sarge would have said anything more, Wolfgang would have been like, "Here, take this truth herb."
And then when he pulled out the briefcase, I was like, Sarge is about to get drugged and pass out. It's Final Fantasy. It's Heaven's Ward all over again.
Oh no! The Sultana!
Say bye to your character.
Sarge, upon seeing that, will make a rather impulsive decision. Um, I will ask you, sir, before I do head out, just oh my God, Sarge is in his Columbo era. Just one more thing, before I go. You did say what part of what brought you here was the recent goings on with the androids, and
That is correct.
I had hoped to mayhaps conduct some kind of investigation into the side effects of the substance that caused the oh, what's the word?
The androidification.
No.
No.
The darn, I'm losing my vocabulary. The
Wolfgang is gonna pull out his little notebook and flip through it, and he looks for a second and he says,
oh no, I got it. The sort of meta crisis that led to the hybridization of the victims in that situation. If you should ever happen upon any information therein, I would love to collaborate with you on it. I'd like to never see this happen again.
Me too, my friend. What happened here was a travesty. It was absolutely awful what happened to these poor people.
I if you want, Worm, Sarge can roll a perception check to tell if he's being bullshitted too.
You know I'm going to.
Yep.
You cannot see it, but I'm smiling like an idiot.
Hold on, did that roll?
It did
no.
not.
Oh. Hold on. Had too many windows open anyways. Waha.
That meets. Okay, so yes, babe, I think I already know, but Sarge is able to see through any deception that Wolfgang is giving. What is Wolfgang's true intention?
He does not really care about the people.
Yeah, so Wolfgang is putting on a show of, oh, it's so terrible, but you, Sarge, even though you haven't seen battle as often as others, you definitely have heard stories and have seen the faces and the eyes of people who think of their fellow man as lesser. And this is probably the first time you've ever just seen someone radiate that supremacy.
Okay. Well, I certainly know where to find you should I come upon any information, and I would hope you keep me in mind.
I will, my friend, and if I have any other notes on the subject, I will be sure to contact you.
Okay, what I want to ask now, does Sarge try to find us immediately and discuss like what he's experienced, or does he just kind of keep this event to himself?
Oh no, he's definitely dishing.
He's spilling it.
Okay, so then
Over soup tonight.
Oh yeah, you know, oh that's perfect. That's even better than what I was gonna ask. That's perfect. Okay, so Sarge
Gotta spill the soup.
Gotta get that soup. I would then want to go ahead and check on Rat and see what Rat wants to do for one of his events for the 2-month downtime.
So, honestly, I was sitting there and thinking about it for a bit because I'm not completely sure what Rat would be doing at this time. So I drew it down to Rat is essentially just kind of following behind everyone, or just sitting and staring at the garden.
Okay. I kind of like that idea that Rat's
Give
just
him a
kind of
Rubik's Cube.
hanging out with everybody and just like going on little adventures. So,
He is hiding though. Every time they go into populated space, he hides.
right. So this comes into my next question. I need you to do two things for me then. I need Rat to roll me a stealth check, and then I need him to roll a d10. And I'm going to say because of the events of what just happened, Chaos Factor has gone up by 1 because we just met someone who has a fucking bit of ooze.
A bit of ooze.
I don't like how I rolled low on both of those.
Also,
I'm
now that you
trained in
said that,
fucking stealth.
now that you said that, I'm going to hear Ivan Ooze from the Power Rangers movie. Smells like teenage.
Smells like adventurers.
Teen spirit.
Okay. So with that roll, let me go ahead and pull this up. There you are. We're gonna get an altered scene. Go ahead and roll me another d10.
Okay. That's a 4.
Okay. The reason that Rat soon discovers that he's not able to stay in stealth is because, unfortunately, it's a very busy day that we go to the port. A lot of the repairs and a lot of the readjustments to Banahaw have really gone into full swing, and now today is like the stock market like going through insane fluctuation kind of busy. So I think what happens instead is that Rat is kind of forced to just clump up with Loc, Markov, and Zuriel as like he's just kind of observing everything, like almost looking like a little kid just holding on to like someone's shirt or something.
You know what?
He is the boy.
Oh God, why did I roll low on that? Yeah, he's having an anxiety attack.
Okay.
Mhm.
I think the three of us would recognize that immediately, and we would kind of help guide Rat over to like an alley where there's not nearly as many people, and that he's got more
Get
room
him
to
some
breathe.
ice cream.
You know what? We have gunpowder and steampunk shit. There's definitely ice cream in this universe.
Ice cream, and I need to look for a second. I think Zuriel, like, not knowing what else to do, like, after they usher Rat into a little alley, he looks at Rat and goes, "What's your favorite animal? I could do like an ape. Like I got a bear. I could be a dog. Do you like dogs? Cats?
You could also show
I
us your
could do
true
that.
self and be a jackass. Just Loc smiling a big shit-eating grin for that one.
Zuriel doesn't say anything. He just pouts.
I could be a donkey. Zuriel, I could be a donkey if that's what you want.
I think Rat is just essentially, as soon as they like semi-forcefully pulled him away, because as he started to kind of panic, he just started going back into animal mode and started just kind of like every time someone would accidentally bump into him, he would immediately growl or just seem aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
And the person obviously would be like, what the hell? But I think that was your guys' hints to pull him away, was that he started being very both defensive and aggressive to anyone doing slight things, as he acted like a cornered animal. And when you guys pulled him away, of course when you essentially hover your hands over him, he like flinches to hit you until realizing who you were. And now he's curled up in like fetal position holding his head. And he's just sitting there kind of rocking, going, can't see face, 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 hurt rat, can't see face her. Can't see face.
Wander's going to motion towards Zuriel and to Markov and say, "Look, I'll take care of Rat. You guys go ahead and get the rest of what we need for the soup. I got him."
Zuriel just nods and goes off with Markov.
Markov like, lifts an eyebrow at Loc, but goes away.
Just
I think
just make sure Zuriel doesn't see any more dragon-like creatures and piss themselves. That's very embarrassing.
That was very funny, though.
I think just because Zuriel mentioned turning to an animal as they walk away, Zuriel turns to a cat and sits on Markov's shoulder.
That's fine.
Loc sees that and goes, Markov actually I wonder if Markov is actually a cat person. Like thinking like, oh, that actually works for him. What Wander's gonna do is that he's going to kind of like sit next to Rat and kind of like put a hand on his head and like kind of just pat him a little bit, get him comfortable. And if Rat lets him, he's gonna pull out the ever-growing loaf and like break off a piece for them both to eat.
When your hand does touch his head, he like freezes, and then he's like a cat that gets cheese thrown on their head. He's just stuck there for a second, and then he very slowly relaxes, and as he puts the half of the Evergrow loaf to Rat just kind of like holds onto it, and he's just 1,000 yards staring forward.
Loc will kind of like let that like bit of silence rest and finally say, I don't know how I keep getting all the strays that the world's been complete shit to. Between you and Markov and apparently Zuriel, there's a lot of trauma between you three.
Wander, do it.
The unfortunate answer is, Rat, I haven't had to go through what the three of you have. My childhood, mostly good. Pretty damn good, honestly. I've been shot, stabbed, and poisoned, but I knew what I was getting into. I wish I could give you an answer on how I make it work, but the truth is, buddy, you are so much stronger than me because you've lived through the worst. I haven't yet.
Yes.
Wish he looked like Wander. No need hide. No need scared.
Well, I don't think you have to hide, buddy. I mean, granted, it's exceedingly busy today, so, like, the claustrophobia is completely valid, but come on, we got way uglier people walking around. Hell, we got politicians walking around in public. That's bleh. Trust me, there are uglier things than you out in this world. You gotta speak up, Miles. Your microphone's not picking you up.
Oh, sorry. All alive. Rat dead.
You're undead. It's not the same thing. You can talk. You kind of have to eat. You like to interact with people. And you have to sleep. You're alive in the things that matter, Rat. Some definition of whether or not your origin or your magic is deathless or not, it's just a box. But you can define which box you want to actually be categorized in. And he's going to make Rat look at him and like motions towards himself. I mean, keep in mind, I'm a tiefling. I'm human in every sense of the word. It's just, you know, somewhere along the line, my ancestors wanted to fuck a demon. Say what?
Markov from the corner. He's blue.
He's blue. Get out of here already! For a long time, people that looked like me were very hesitantly dealt with, but, over time, people just grew to understand that origin does not mean anything. There are people out there who put way too much stock in their bloodlines and where they come from, but most of the time, it's your actions and the people you choose to be around. Besides, Markov is way scarier than you 9 times out of 10, so just stand next to him and you'll look prettier by comparison.
Rat, after hearing that, sits there a sec, and then will dig into his pouch, open up that medical kit, and take out the little notebook, and then he just sets it on Wander's hand, and he says, "You may read. Even last page."
Wander will take time to skim it and try to look for, Wander's not stupid, but he's not a magician or a scientist, so he's not going to understand a lot in the book. What are, the main things that he would skim through and find?
It is a journal of a man named Thavius. I forgot the last name I gave them. Thavius Everglow. That was their name. It is overall just a bunch of dates and entries about patients that have come by to the clinic, their conditions, and if anything new was found, treatment plans, etc., etc., etc. But as you go through the notes, they start getting distant. The dates start going longer and longer and longer, and then you reach the last page, or the last 2 specifically. The second to last page says, "I couldn't save him. The disease took my son, and I don't know what to do anymore. My wife left, she took his brother, and all I have is the body." And then when you just turn the page, it is manic scribbling. There is no rhyme, no reason, and all it says is, "That thing isn't my son. That thing isn't him. I don't know what I've done. That thing isn't him. That thing isn't him. What have I done? What have I done?"
Rat, do you mind if I speak very candidly about what I just read? I don't even know if you know
Rat
what word
just
candidly
stays silent.
means. From what I understand here, it seems like your father, or the equivalent of, tried to bring back their son. You didn't turn out the way they wanted to, and they blamed you for it. Ergo, your dad is a bastard man. Hands the book back to him.
Rat will take it, and then he just looks at it, and he says, "Rat want to find Mom. But Rat don't know what she looked like. Rat don't know anything about this." And he holds up the book to basically say he doesn't know his past.
Well, I think I've got a pretty good idea on how to help get there. You know how you kind of helped save the entire city by making a giant metal dragon flinch?
Rat did that?
Yeah, buddy, it wasn't for long, but you did it. You made a metal dragon flinch long enough for someone way more experienced to basically come down and Deus Volt them in the face. People
Rat just wanted to be like Wander.
And then Wander smiles at that and goes, puts his pride away for a second. Rat, you can be like me, but you gotta be like you. Take what I do, but then think of how you want to do it. Don't kill people! No more of that. But, now listen, you didn't hear it from me, but I'm not perfect, and I make mistakes. Wander looks around to make sure Markov didn't hear that.
Rat
Markov is like
doing-
buying beans or shit.
All I can think of is that Markov and Zuriel walked away as if they were going to go get soup things, but instead they were just around the corner.
You
I
know
was
what?
legit thinking
You know,
that too.
both of you roll a stealth check. We'll make it a group stealth check. If you guys can get above a 16, I'll allow it, because that's fun. And, like, Wander
Alright.
focused on reading, so, like, he's not actively paying attention to his surroundings.
Oh dear.
This would be hilarious.
Damn.
Do either of you want to burn a hero point?
Nah.
Not on this.
Okay, so I think we'll make this as like you get caught like during his reading time, and then Wander tells you to fuck off.
Yep.
Guys, keep in mind that like we might not get to any actual major battles. Like it's a free hero point.
That is true, but
Yeah.
still.
Okay.
I only have a
I think
plus
it's-
2.
I think it's funnier if they get caught.
Yeah.
that's
And
fine.
Wander has to chase them away. He's like,
Beat
hey,
him off with the new.
Get out of here. So Wander, let's take
All I
that.
hear is the cat like screech, cat screech. and then-
Wander will continue. It's like I got flaws. I'm very stubborn and I'm a
Surprise
little
Pikachu face.
Wander like takes a moment to be like, you smart ass, you are way smarter than you let on. But no, like there are gonna be things that I can't do that I need Markov to do, that I need Zuriel to do, Sarge, and you. You've already proven that you can be resourceful in ways I can't. So if I inspire you to be the best version of you, I'm flattered. But at the end of the day, you gotta take your wins, buddy. You made a dragon, an ancient metal dragon, flinch. Not many people can do that. So, if you really want to try and find your mom and your sister, I can't offer a lot in that, but I think if you stick with it and keep being the damn hero that I think you can be, word's gonna get around about the weird-looking zombie rat thing that saved Banahaw Port. Speaking of, and he's gonna gently reach for like Rat's hood and like try to remove it. We can roll some fate dice to see how he responds.
I'm gonna roll for you know what? No rolling. Rat will, as his hands reach for his hood, of course Rat sits there and like shrinks and he starts pulling back, but it's in more of a reflexive way until the hood comes off and he just sits there and Rat feel naked.
Yeah, and probably not in the fun way, but this is gonna help people know
There's
you.
fun way.
You're too
Help.
young for that. No. No. I'll explain that when you're older. And two, if you let more folks see the real you, let you see behind the hood, like literally, you're gonna get known more. You're gonna do good deeds. You're gonna do great things for people. And if you're lucky, maybe your mom and your sister will recognize you and they'll come and see you. But it's not gonna do any good to always stay in the shadows.
Rat, understand. Rat, try.
And that's all we can ask you for, bud. You don't have to be successful at it every time. Not all of my jokes are that funny. Again, if you tell Markov this, I am never gonna live this down and I will be upset with you.
Tell Mark.
The neighbors were banging against the wall, so I was wondering what was going on.
Okay. Mwah. Now, with all that handled, what's your favorite kind of meat?
Rat really likes the one that's on the side of street.
Oh
Okay.
my god.
I'm gonna make this more specific: pork, beef, or chicken, and then that's where we'll cut
There's
the
a
scene.
difference?
Just
Oh.
the part of Rat that is a functioning person, just world blown. There's a difference.
That is forever my new favorite.
That is my.
exchange. I don't think
All I heard-
anything can beat it.
All I heard was Basil just cackling like a madman.
So,
I don't even know for what.
Wander asked Rat, like, what's his favorite meat? Rat said, I like that one on the street corner. It's like, okay, I'm gonna make this easier for you. Chicken, pork, or beef. And then Rat said, just,
There's a difference.
just the perfect sound, the perfect loudness. It was so amazing.
It's amazing.
Oh, God.
Mind blown.
At that point, Markov, is there anything... So earlier you said Markov was just hanging out with everyone. I want to do one more check if Markov wants to do anything specific. Otherwise, Wander's going to do his thing.
I feel like not like at this like shopping trip, but like at some point in these 2 months, Markov would like just go out and start people watching for a couple of hours, and that would be what he did for like the whole day.
I like it. Okay, then actually, you know what, hun? Roll me a d10.
Okay.
And I'm gonna also take some notes really quick.
And I will say Markov is wearing just regular casual civilian clothes and like one of those face masks that go over your nose and mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Because he knows he got a fucked up smile.
Yeah. Damn it, Markov, did you not just hear the pep talk I gave Rat? So,
I literally did not do shoot me away.
so this is gonna be a...
I wanted to.
This is going to be another interrupted scene, because it falls under the chaos factor, because with this new information, I feel like we get the chaos factor to go up because Rat threw in a pretty sizable wrench and also is going to be putting themselves in more and more uncomfortable situations. So, roll me a D100.
Our neighbors are really going at it next door.
Oh Jesus.
65, almost the fun number.
Almost.
Okay. Move away from a thread. So this is kind of a trick result. I think we've had this one time before. I like this idea that Markov, you're people watching, and you think you see some people like get into a fight, looking or like have some kind of discourse. And you think, oh, my people watching is over, but then instead, they come back and a different scene happens. I'm gonna go ahead and roll on a larger table, and we're gonna see what the event was.
So some guys were wanting to fight, but then they went away and now they're back.
Yeah, two people you were watching had some kind of disagreement or fought or something, and now they're coming back because the move away from a thread is more of a trick. It's like the initial thing you came for is no longer there, but there is still a moving forward action.
Oh no, I'm gonna get mugged now.
Oh no.
So we got efficiently beautiful.
Oh.
Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I'm thinking you watch a young, young or old couple, I'll leave it up to you. They have an immense disagreement. One of their partners walks away, and after like kind of seeing this person sit by themselves for a while, you start to feel a little awkward and you think, maybe I shouldn't people watch. And then the person comes back, and very much what we did with Rat, they come back with ice cream. And the two of them are just sitting next to each other, looking away, but like inching a little closer to each other.
I'm gonna cry. I don't know these people, and I'm gonna cry.
From with that premise, feel free to add as much detail to the scene as you want. This is Markov's moment.
So they're making up after a fight, and Markov is just kind of like watching them.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think Markov would just continue to watch them, even if it was kind of awkward.
Yeah, like I kind of get the idea that you're at a distance from them and they don't really notice you. Like you're making yourself, air quotes, small to not really be noticed.
Yeah.
And this is like a park area. It's like, hey, if they're gonna draw attention to themselves, they did it to themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, not a lot. Just, it's like, oh, good for them. All right. I want the ice cream now.
Markov doesn't have any other reactions to that?
Does he?
I get the feeling he's pushing it down, way down.
I'm not against that. I'm not against that at all. But like, I'm gonna message something to Ryan because we've been talking a lot about like where Markov's story can go.
Listen, he has put that so far down his mind. Yes, that is exactly what I'm thinking. But he has put that so far out of his mind that does not even occur to him anymore.
Okay, if that's what you want to play.
But that is a very like small part. He does think about. No, he does think about it.
Okay, then if it, you know what's funny is like what you're doing now. It's like, no, I'm not thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it a lot.
I'm thinking about it a lot. That's exactly what Markov's doing.
Can you make a will save DC for me? We'll make it a 19.
Okay. Oh lord. What the fuck are they doing outside?
Even I could hear their asses. What the shit?
I could hear it. What?
I like that Markov just straight up spoke through their player. I'm like, what? No, there's no. Oh,
Nat 20.
Okay. Markov, you definitely have this moment where you think of yourself and that one person, and not only do you catch that you're thinking that, you force it down. Like you actively think, no, we're not. I'm not doing this right now.
No. I'm gonna go see what they're doing real quick.
Okay. At that end, I will then go ahead and have Wander do his thing. He's going to actually split off from the group, and anyone... What the shit are they doing? That is so... Actually, give us 1 second, guys. This is actually annoying.
Go ahead.
Alright.
Oh, also, because it's been like kind of niggling at the back of my mind ever since ice cream was first brought up, ice cream predates dueling pistols and trains.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Sounds really cool.
By
actually.
almost 100 years, I think, on both.
Oh dang. I feel like I'm just like trying to eavesdrop on what's going on
Same.
now.
Same.
Okay.
It's like,
So they're working on the roofs of the apartments. That's what we're hearing.
Yeah. It would have been great if they told us.
I think they might have, because like they were sending emails about like some like quality alterations they were making to the apartment. I just didn't read through them, so I never even thought about it.
Yeah, I always thought that was just for the toy drive that they're doing.
I thought it was for the toy drive because I read that, and also for like the grass and field. But like, I mean, hey, I mean, it's a good thing they're working on the apartments. Like, we could be living in a way shittier place that didn't.
Yeah. But back to the game. Markov sees them. I'm not thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it a lot. I'm not gonna think about it, or else I'm gonna start crying.
And
And he gets up and he starts walking away.
Yeah, and I think there's that moment where Markov is just kind of bothered. But with that nat 20, he controls his emotions. We just got a chance to see what might be going on in Markov's mind a little bit.
The enigma that is my mind.
Spilt milk. Blood everywhere.
Yes.
Conditions of my mind are an enigma.
At this point, it's Wander's turn, and Wander's going to do something very simple. He's going to entrust the group watch after Rat while he goes off to do something. That being said, I'm going to ask, does anyone try to follow after Wander secretly?
Markov, probably.
God, I'm so curious, but I feel like Zuriel's just like,
doesn't care.
all right. Well, Zuriel is starting to care more. Like, usually he doesn't care about what other people are doing, but like with this group specifically, he's been like, I feel a little nosy. But he feels like he personally has been given the responsibility of looking after Rat, so he doesn't.
Here's the argument that I would make. I think Wander is definitely someone who's been in everybody's business for the past 2 months. Save for Sarge, I don't think anyone notices Wander ever, like, going off on their own. So when he declares he's gonna go do something by himself, I think that is a bit out of the norm for him.
What if... what if the entire... I don't know about Sarge, but, like, the entire group just, like, separately decides to try and...
Oh, wait, no, that would be funny!
It's the, because I was thinking of it like the episode of Naruto where they're trying to see what Kakashi's face looks like under the mask.
Yeah.
You know what? I actually really
I feel
like that.
With Rat too, he's just nibbling on the Evergrow loaf, right? And then he turns and sees, like, Wander's gone, and then everyone else is, like, slowly walking in a direction. He's like, wait for Rat.
Where we going?
That's so cute.
Like,
Wait for
didn't hear
Rat.
anything of what they said, but then he's like, oh, we're leaving, okay.
Like just eating a bit of bread. Where are we going, guys?
So I like the idea of this being a group check because Markov is not going to win against a stealth check, and I really want this to be something funny. So if 2 out of the 4 of you are able to beat my perception check, we'll consider this a successful group stealth.
Right.
Okay. Great.
Lieutenant Stealth, don't fail me now.
Okay, 9. Oh, that's a nat 20!
yeah!
I talked all that good shit!
How dare you doubt Markov?
Honestly. Okay.
I am
think I'm a-
supreme! I am
think
the
I'm a
machine!
cat again. I think I'm a cat again.
I like this I like this idea that Wander very openly tells you like he needs to go take care of some errands and he wants to just enjoy his own time. You guys
He never wants to enjoy anything. Let's find out.
I like the idea of you guys working together to keep each. You know, it would be really cute. And feel free to say otherwise. I like this idea that like everyone splits up, but the plan is that you're actively helping each other stay stealth. So like, there's like this whole day where Wander is, in fact, just going by himself, enjoying his day. Every time Rat's about to accidentally fall over, every time Sarge is about to get into a fight with someone, like one of you like pulls the other out of sight, and you're always like just keeping out of Wander's sight.
Oh man, I love
Wander's
that.
like, man, today's been weird. Just a bunch of little things.
But it also is perfect because, like, we've already established that it's super busy in Banahaw today. So, like, unless you're going to be within, like, a 10-foot radius, Loc isn't really going to be able to pay attention to everything around him.
Mm-hmm.
I just like when Sarge tries to fight somebody, all Rat does is walk up and does his Undeath's blessing on them, putting the fear of God in them, so they're just like, oh,
We're so sorry.
oh, and slowly walk away, and then Rat just grabs his head and waddles.
Waddle, waddle.
And like Wander sees that guy and just like pale. His hair slightly dyed white now, and Warner's
You,
like,
you know what Locke
what
would
happened to
say?
that guy?
Locke would literally just think to himself, "Oh, they probably just saw a rat from a distance."
Oh
like,
man.
like he's not thinking rats like is trying to like sneak up and stalk him. He's just thinking, "Oh, somebody must have saw a rat," and just shrug and go like, "They'll get used to it."
Yep.
So eventually, Wander does actually make it to where he goes towards a post office specifically, and he seems to pick up a package, and he kind of finds a corner to just read up on a couple of letters, and most of the letters he keeps and like folds away. Then one in particular he sees, and then he whispers something to himself, and the letter just ignites into flames, and he walks away as if nothing happened.
Zuriel mumbling to Markov. I did something interesting.
What?
You were too quiet. Your microphone didn't pick it up.
Ah, damn. He just whispers Markov, just like, oh my god, he finally did something interesting.
Ooh, dang.
Fuck you, Zuriel!
Damn!
This is such a
And
development.
in the fucking in the whole thing of like Zuriel saying that, he's meaning specifically in this like whole event of them
Yeah.
like following.
Nah,
No,
forget that, forget
but
that.
I do
Sarge-
like the joke that Zuriel always picks on Wander by telling him he's not interesting, that he's just like plain ass white bread.
Sarge just shows up with some burn cream. It's like, don't worry, don't ask me why, but you're gonna need this.
You just show up with fantasy aloe, and Wander's like, what do I need this for? It's like, don't worry about it.
Don't
You'll
worry about it.
learn.
Okay, I think then to end this portion of the game, and we'll take a short break after this, everyone comes back together with the stew. So for funsies, because I'm just having too much fun with it, we got beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, and we got I guess
Everything stew.
all the meats, all of them.
It's everything stew.
It's literally everything stew. Now here's the question: does anyone have any skills in cooking whatsoever?
Is that survival?
I would argue yes.
If so, then I do.
Then I do.
I
I've
absolutely.
got a plus
do.
8 in survival.
I've got a plus 10.
I have a +0.
Okay, let me see what my survival. I've got a plus 6, so that's decent. I'm gonna argue that between Sarge and Zuriel, you two are the ones who cook the food, because holy shit, this is an everything gumbo with like everything underlined 3 times and in bold.
Because I feel like the
Mhm.
two of us specifically are like, when you get a chance to eat and you're on the road, it's like, look, whatever we can get in this pot that won't kill us, we gotta make it palatable.
Right.
Yes.
So this is what I want to do. Go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll me a flat d20, Sarge, to see if you how much you're able to help with this roll for Zuriel. You just have to be a 10. Oh, I would use a hero point.
Yep, we're
He's gonna
gonna.
Oh
poison
my
us.
god.
Yep, we're gonna burn.
Oh
I
my
am
God.
guidancing you. I am guidancing you, so it's at a +1.
Oh.
Oh!
This is
Let's
not
go! Okay, so now Zuriel, roll your survival check with an additional +2.
I think I did that right. Here it comes.
Oh,
Oh.
Oh, use a hero
no.
point! Use a hero point!
It's a hero point time.
Otherwise, we're making really tasty poison.
We
Oh
are.
my god, this is a...
Rat would have
Wolfgang.
because I have bonuses to that.
There we go.
There we go. Okay. Despite granted, the ingredients we got were good. The recipe and the spices and everything It was a trial between the two of you. You managed to make not just edible food, but good food. This is very good, like everything gumbo.
I put some aside and I like whenever it's most convenient deliver it to the kobolds as an apology as well.
Aww, that's actually
that's
really
great.
sweet. I like that.
My brain went to your snake, but that's actually really sweet.
Oh yeah,
Small
the snake
piece of
gets some
chicken
too.
for
I really like that. And I think at this point, Sarge, you elaborate on Wolfgang having the ooze.
Yeah. There was a real slimy character I met at actually a very nice tavern called the Spotted Kettle. I believe Raspberry Stitch, one of her, did we say children?
You know what I believe? I believe that Raspberry Stitch doesn't have any air quote children of her own. She just adopted kids throughout her long years.
Oh my god, I love her!
I love that. That's great. One of her children runs it. Had a nice cup of tea with a very potentially not nice gentleman, whose name I am blanking on. If
Wolfgang.
God could help, Wolfgang.
Markov.
God's
Wolfgang.
wife helped.
Thank you, God's wife. Who is he talking to?
Multiple, continue.
See, sit there like, I feel that.
I've been there.
But yeah, and he goes and like talks about everything he knows about Wolfgang, the journal, the mysterious herb he's supposedly looking for, and how surprisingly worried that part of the conversation made Sarge.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because there's being cagey because you don't want a discovery swept out from under you, and then there's being cagey because you can't trust people to respond favorably to what you're trying to do. And Sarge definitely feels like it's more the latter than the former.
And your
And then of course,
go ahead.
and of course the vial of
The ooze.
the ooze.
And you're positive that it's the exact same ooze from the metal dragon and its cultists.
I mean, unless you know something else that looks like Quicksilver that moves like slime.
I don't know what's gonna come out of Rat yet after he's eaten the gumbo, so we'll 50-50 shot on that.
Gross.
Ew.
Meanwhile, his face is in the bowl.
Just eating it like a dog who hasn't
And
eaten all day.
There's a waterfall of tears out of the eye that actually has an eyelid. Because this is the best thing he's even eaten in. Yes.
Wander's gonna look to the audience. You know what's worse is that because we put all the meats in there, he still doesn't know the difference between them.
Sarge just like staring on, like eye twitching, eyes are starting to glass over, pulls out a journal from his back pocket and begins to start taking notes again. But he has not looked at the paper and he has not looked away. Just dear God.
At one point, he accidentally eats some of the bowl and then sits there, stares at it, and keeps eating.
If you're not looking at Sarge, you just hear his pencil snap.
Cereal
What a
staring
medical
at rat.
marvel.
Cereal staring at rat mouth agape. Just oh my god.
So
Cheers, bro. I'll drink to that.
So that actually adds a bit of complications to our day then, because, and Wander places down a quest board paper on the table, explaining that in some of the farmlands just outside Banahaw, a sinkhole had opened up and had swallowed up a couple of farmers and farm animals. No one is considered dead, but there are people who are trapped in the sinkhole and do need help within the next day or so. Adventurers are looking to try and help, but it's something that Wander considered the group could do. So now with that, he's going to lean back and say, I'm going to be honest, I really want to help One, because the publicity would be very good for us. Two, the payout would be very good for us. But I don't think I can sit quietly letting this guy walk around with the juju that literally made everyone go homicidal.
Is he still like in town? Or was he?
As far as I know, he plans to stick around for a bit. Whatever it is he's looking for, he at least intimates that he knows it to be here.
Did you
My
talk about the
word.
part where he's finding the herb?
Yeah.
Okay.
My concern is when he says herb, I think he means whatever's behind all of this. And I don't know if he was being euphemistic, maybe he was just being tricksy, but I don't much care for it.
And I don't know what I would roll, right? I think it would be occultism or maybe medicine, but can I roll something to see if there's something in my brain about this guy?
You know what? I'm going to roll on the fate die first. I personally think it is likely, given Rat's origins, that he might know of. Does anyone have any, arguments against Rat possibly be able to roll something on this?
I really want him.
Okay. Yeah, Rat, go for it. I would say go ahead and roll for occultism.
Ooh, I got a -1 to this, alright. But I got 3 hero points, let's go. That's a 14. Fuck it.
I'm gonna say just burn them until you get like a high enough roll for what you want.
No, come on. 2 more. Oh, hell no. Come on. Last one.
Okay,
Yeah,
15.
okay.
15. We'll take that.
Alright.
We take those.
It took a minute, but he finally got it.
I think the thing that I want to know. I guess the question comes down to.
I'm gonna send you something, Basil.
Okay, I'm gonna because we've had this plan for Rat for a minute, and I'm just kind of thinking, how would we go about this?
They even asked me about this, so that's why I was like, yes, let Rat ponder this, see if he remembers something.
Rat, I think when Sarge explains what the guy looked like and talks about the guy's mannerisms and his obsession, that maybe something in you remembers something. Like you've met this person before. And not just that funny feeling of, oh, well, this seems familiar. It's like, no. Like, the more you roll Wolfgang's name in your mouth, you're like, no, I know this. I know this person.
In his mouth?
Ew,
Rat-
no.
Rat, lifts his head the more Sarge talks about him, and then does, the dog head tilt at times. And Rat goes, Rat, know him. Don't know why Rat know him, but Rat know him.
I do not like that.
And then here's where our conversation is gonna make it sad, Wonder. Rat will then, his eyes light up excitedly, and then looks at Wander and says, maybe he know where Mom is. Maybe Wander right. Rat known.
Wander's going to put a hand on Rat's shoulder and goes, I'm thinking that there might be a case that this guy knows something about you, but remember, he's actively holding on to that silvery goo that made people bad that we had to fight, remember?
Oh, right.
So I think this Wolfgang character is someone to investigate and look into, but let's be careful. He seems like the devilishly charismatic type, and that says a lot coming from me.
Charismatic, sure.
I will slap you in your nose.
Wait,
I'd like to see you
so
try
he
short
blew
things.
Just his
too?
nose?
Oh gosh.
That's not what Sarge said. Wander liar.
I'm not. Oh God, no. Just like again.
Wow, Wander, I can't believe you would be lying like this.
What happens is
He
you
lies a lot.
you watch as Wander like grabs a hold of Rat's muzzle and playfully like holds it as if to him, because like Wander knows Rat's smarter than he thinks. Like he just looks at Rat playfully like, you little shit. And then when the other of you are talking, he like Wander, being shorter than everyone but Sarge, just like reaches like, get over here so I can do the same thing to your mouths. Come here. Get over here.
Rat.
Markov just
Tongue
grabs
slowly.
Wander by the horn.
So Rat
I'm
is
so
smiling, but then he
mad.
lets his split jaws open up just to fuck with Wander.
Oh, that's gross.
I love it. I love it so much.
Like, this is the first time I'm truly regretting how short Sarge is, because, like, I want to make a joke about bringing Wander a box.
You've never seen a four-sided grin until today.
God.
Ooh.
All right, so I think we all can agree we want to go ahead and investigate this guy. Now the question is, how do we want to approach it? Sarge, you talk to this man in good faith and comfortability, and he seems to be willing to work with you on those same terms. So I think you should be the one to give the call. How do we approach this?
Well,
Guns
he's
blazing.
certainly a cage's sort, and I'm not exactly trained in spycraft, mind you, but if we're willing to run the risk of him finding out anything else about these going-ons, for the sake of us finding out more, when we've time, I can try to stick close to him and see if I can't figure out just how much he knows about this stuff, under the guise of simple medical curiosity. And then should we find something more actionable?
A lot of me does not want to go that route, but I don't think we'd get nearly as much out of him if we just barred him against the wall and took the goop from him. Phrasing.
And and I will say he seems wound awful tight. I don't like I'm leery of the idea of trying anything more sneaky. Because
Candygram?
if he catches us,
Candygram.
We can do a Candygram.
All right, how about this? I like your idea. Sarge, if you want to go ahead and feign interest and just go along with him for as long as you can, Rat and Zuriel, could you two prioritize trying to keep an eye on them? I'm stealthy enough as it is, but I don't see myself being of use if I happen to get caught. And while Markov can be surprisingly stealthy, too many people following one person is going to get noticed. So we'll stay behind, and we'll go talk to the council and let them know that this man is walking around with that stuff.
I'll also add,
Okay.
Rat, don't ever let that man catch you by yourself. He does not strike me as the humanitarian sort in any sense of the word.
Rat not
But I
human.
doubt his
And he gets the
experimentational
smiles.
methods would be humane.
What did Rat say?
Rat not human. and he's just smiling. This time with like an evil grin.
Yeah,
like,
no, Rat's becoming self-aware. Damn it, his smarmy attitude.
I mean,
Hmm.
I am the
Also-
only human here.
Also, that
Hey, that is
T100
offensive.
You are a
That-
tiefling.
Tieflings are a part of humanity. Thank you.
You are a people, not a human. What the fuck am I then?
I thought you were a demon.
Okay.
Racism talk again.
Zuriel's probably got like this. Ha! That's not fun to be on this conversation now, is it? After
Also,
like
that D100 was when Wander said no one can. If all of us follow one guy, it's not gonna work out. If I rolled below a 50, I would have had Rat say,
we did that to you all day. I really like that. So
Oh
He
my
would have just told on
God.
us.
I
I
actually.
think it would have been great if he did.
Well, here's the thing. Because of that role, I think Rat, like, there's a moment of Rat going to say that, and then, like, they close their own mouth, like how Wander closes his mouth.
Yeah.
Oh my god. No, because I definitely see Rat being like the first time he hears someone say "hold your tongue," he'll actually start holding his tongue.
Just
and
he'll just
like-
he'll just pop it out and just hold it next to his face.
And then probably
God.
thank them for the idea because it's so much easier not to make noise when your tongue isn't in your mouth.
Just tell Wander like, oh my god, this works, and then bites it, and it just goes.
Oh no.
I love Rat so much.
Why do people do this?
So once again, Wander's going to suggest that Sarge take the lead and that he feign interest and try to get buddy-buddy with Wolfgang, while Zuriel and Rat follow in secret. Markov and Loc will go and let the council know, but very much push for secrecy and subtlety in trying to keep eyes on this guy.
Sounds good to me.
Anyone have objections?
I think it's a good idea.
Okay.
Okay.
Which means we get to hear more of Sarge's diplomacy, which I really liked that scene you had with Wolfgang. Where it was really good. So at this point, I just want to double check. Miles, you need to be ready to get going to work around 2, right?
No. Usually, the reason why I like that is because I stay up before the session and then go to bed, but I got out of work early yesterday, so that's why I passed out. So I'm
Oh.
good.
Okay, then what we could do is why don't we take a 15-minute break, get snack, get water, use the restroom, and when we come back, we can do the beginnings of Sarge trying to butter up Wolfgang, and once we get to a specific sort of like climactic endpoint, no more than another to the 3-hour mark, we'll call it then.
Sounds good.
This is good. I'm the one that needs, I also need to get going by 2, but I think we'll have enough time.
Oh, well, if you need to get going by 2, then I'm going to suggest that we go at
It's 3 our time.
3 our time. Okay, that's perfect
Yeah.
then. Okay.
Sorry,
Then-
forgot time zones.
Yeah. All right, that's perfect. So we'll go ahead. We'll go on a. Sorry, the audio mixer didn't go into the break one. So we'll take a 15-minute break to do our business, get some snacks, and when we come back, we'll start to play with the idea of Wolfgang going and hopefully leading us to wherever this story is going. All right, I'm back. Ari should be back here in just a little bit. I love that. I love that we were worried about getting back late.
Yeah.
Fools.
This has been such a good session.
Oh, by the way, Baz.
Mm-hmm.
Small side note. Well, not really small, but side note. I'm never paying for GW models ever again.
Oh?
For like 7 of them, $300.
Ooh.
Jeez.
And one of them was discounted in secondhand.
What models did you get?
So I'm planning to make a Sisters Army from 40k, and
Okay.
one of them was Saint Celestine, which was $50. Morven Vol, $50, and the one that would have been the most expensive would have been the Triumph of Saint Catherine, because if I would have bought that directly, that would have been $100 on its own.
Yeah.
But someone was selling that and 5 other models, or 5 other model types, altogether for $200. And at first I thought he was doing that for, like, you know, just being a greedy asshole. But then I looked up the price of every single one individually. No, that was a fucking steal, dude. If I would have bought each one of those packs individually, I would have spent probably $400 to $500. And that's like a third of my army. I ain't done.
Oh God.
I'm gonna look at DBs and be like, print the rest of my models, please. Help.
No, I feel like when it comes to Games Workshop, a lot of people go third party. Like, unless there's a very specific model or a very specific thing. And honestly, it feels like Games Workshop's just kind of leaning into that. Like, they don't want to promote people making their own figures, but they also only sell to people who want very specific figures.
Yeah, doesn't it make no sense?
It has
Like,
never made sense. Like, I'm
they
gonna be
have
honest
this
with you.
Beautiful sandbox, but they're like, no, we don't want you to play it.
Yeah, the total Warhammer 3 pricing makes more sense than what Games Workshop itself does. Like, getting into Total Warhammer 3 is still cheaper than actually getting into Warhammer.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's silly.
And I'm gonna be excited to, you know, paint those models. Like, I'm excited to learn how to paint the skin on Saint Celestine and make her wings look fucking gorgeous, but I still need to buy the fucking airbrush and paint and shit, you know? I need to buy that as well. But I would like to just have the boxes to sit there and be like, soon. Maybe even stream me painting them.
Mm-hmm.
Or putting them together.
Also, something that I think they changed... I have to look into it more, but with the remaster, I think they changed how aid works in the base rule set. Let me see here. Add any relevant traits, tier, pending on or even allow you to aid checks other than skill checks and attack rolls. Okay, so I have to look into like the wording of this, but depending on how the remaster rule is supposed to be read, in the future, aid is going to be... The DC will be stuck at a 15, save for if I decide otherwise. But instead of it being a dry roll, you guys can argue that you get to roll specific skill checks to make things work. So, like, you can get specific bonuses instead of just rolling the D20.
Oh, okay.
Plus, critical success on aid checks get a major boost now, where... so if you're critically successful in a circumstance bonus, it's a +2, If you're a master with the check you attempted, it's a +3, and if you're legendary, it's a +4. So critically succeeding while helping someone really gives some major boosts. That being said, is everybody back?
I think
we're
Worm is
just
still
waiting
out.
on Worm.
Okay.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm very excited for the remaster because the remaster doesn't like outright replace the rules we know. It's more like it gives clarifications and you get a couple of different systems. Like for instance, I need to look into it now, but apparently there's 2 different ways of playing Death now. There's the version that we've been fiddling with, which is it's okay, but if I'm reading the other one, also. We got a follow earlier by Paths Found. Thank you. I did not notice. Because I try not to go too crazy on keeping track of chat and stuff whenever we're in the middle of a show. But, yeah, so the big thing with Pathfinder is that it's easier to die in the game, which, with how this game works, I kind of feel like that's sometimes needed. But we will see how everyone feels about that later.
Cookie Run again has me in a death grip.
You guys want to see the painting I finished while we were playing earlier?
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Wait for my disk to load. I'm just gonna throw it. Let's see. Ta-da!
Very nice.
Thank you.
Oh, that's really pretty.
Thank you.
Come on, Worm. We got a game to play.
Worm.
Worm. What?
Worm.
Let me go ahead and message him. Because at this point, we are past the 15-minute mark.
See, I wasn't paying attention to the time, and I was worried that I came back late. It was very productive. I even did dishes.
Good.
As long as the dish is consented.
Not funny, didn't laugh.
No, did you not hear my deep sigh?
I did. I just decided to sit there.
They'll laugh eventually.
No, like if you say a bad joke and you expect anyone to laugh eventually, you're doing bad jokes wrong.
Oh my gosh.
Bad jokes are sometimes said purely for your own enjoyment and the pain for everyone else.
Yeah.
Come on, Worm, let's go.
Worm, you're the linchpin to this plan.
Literally,
Worm.
he is the linchpin to this plan.
Worm was like, he said 15-minute time using it.
It's been over
Me.
15 minutes.
Time to take a nap.
So Miles, you play Apex Legends?
I played it for like a very tiny bit, but I just realized that Battle Royale's RNG just pisses me off more than makes me happy.
Very fair. I've been filling with it and kind of enjoying it a bit. I'm just trying to find more games to play with people. I'm also getting back into Dead by Daylight.
Oh God, let me play with you.
All right, perfect.
Also, I just learned that, like, when I play Apex, I just become sad because it's like, you know what game I could be playing right now that I don't have to deal with bullshit RNG and praying to God I get a weapon to survive with.
I know you're not going to say
Titanfall
Destiny.
2.
Well, we could play Titanfall 2.
Motherfucker, I will style on you and it'll be great.
Dude, like, Titanfall 2 got such a resurgence lately. I would have no qualms with picking that game up. I would just want more people to consistently play it with.
You let me know about this.
I don't know, because most of the time we're playing Final Fantasy together.
True.
Come on, Worm.
A new canvas is on the easel.
What are you going to paint now?
I don't know.
Either that or we can play Phasmophobia.
Oh God, and I can play it in VR again. It'll be horrible, but it'll be amazing.
Oh my lord.
It's very fun.
Ellie, didn't we play Phasmophobia before?
Mm-hmm.
I think me and Baz played it with you two, and it was hilarious because you guys would lock me in the house.
Aha.
There you are.
I get so scared in Phasmophobia.
I love it.
So I was using my Bluetooth headphones, and I was out of the room cleaning up after a mess, and I was like, huh, I would have expected folks to start showing back up by now. I wonder what's going on. Oh, my sound died.
There it is.
Okay. Well then.
But let's go beat up an old man.
Let's go beat up an old man. How many times we gotta teach you this lesson, old man?
I love the younger folk.
Alright, music's in. I want us to go ahead and immediately start. Let's go ahead. Zuriel and Rat, roll me stealth checks.
Oh,
God.
boy.
I have no more hero points to spend. Oh boy, here we go.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
My heart stopped because I watched it peter on that 9.
My shit broke, and I saw a 2 land, and I was like,
All right. So, with those rolls, I'm going to accept that as the first successful stealth check. We'll do 2 more as this goes on. For now, when you approach Wolfgang, how do you address it? Like, what's your strategy for this, Sarge?
He's probably in his room actually right now.
I think what I want to do is yes. So I want to approach Wolfgang as a medical professional out of his depth.
Okay.
I fully understand that, like, despite my best intentions, this is beyond my, this condition is beyond my ability to treat. I've got my notes on the symptomatology from, like, when I was first taking notes, when we first, like, found the people that were mid-transformation. And like I just need somebody to take a look at this and tell me what I'm missing. How do we proceed? Because like I said before when I was talking to him, this shouldn't happen again, and he seems to have a good grasp on, if not this specifically, he seems like someone who is better trained than me,
Mm-hmm.
who
Okay.
can see what I've missed and go from there.
Go ahead and roll either a diplomacy or a deception check. Because part of what you're saying is true, it's just the reasons you're going to Wolfgang are not true. So I'm going to let you choose
Right.
either way. Gotta beat a 19.
This could go horribly wrong. Hickey!
Okay.
Ah!
So this is what I want to ask you, Ari. Since Wolfgang is able to essentially see through Sarge's bluff, what is Wolfgang's priority here?
Also, just to add, really quickly, so he knows I'm being deceitful. How well would he know what I'm deceiving him on?
I would argue that since you use diplomacy, that you are not like just trying to deceive him like that. Instead, you're trying to talk more about the truth.
So it's just like it would come off more like I'm like, maybe I'm being overly flowery, like with my language,
Yeah,
kind of a thing.
I think you would try to go up to Wolfgang and try to talk to him about this stuff, and he would just try to wave you off, say, "I'm sorry, my friend, but I have too much stuff that I have to get done. Can we talk another time?"
I like that. Like, you're trying to convince Wolfgang to talk with you, and you're not getting to him.
Do I have any idea how much he knows about the mech dragon we didn't fight?
I'm gonna say no, if only because, until you walked away from the seat, you didn't even realize that he had
Right.
The goop.
Right. Sarge is gonna say, I understand. You've got a lot on your plate. You're working on your own ambitions at the moment, and that's certainly worthwhile for any medical researcher. But you have to understand where I'm coming from. I've seen what was either a dragon made of machines or a construct that thought it was a dragon infecting people with metal. And
I did hear the news
Ooh.
about that. Yes.
and as a dwarf with metal in his blood, Sarge starts to unravel his hand wraps a little bit so you can see where the glint, the sheen of metal can just be seen under his skin, where it's closest to his knuckles.
Wolfgang
It's a bit unsettling.
Wolfgang kind of looks up and stares at your hands for a second. Is there a roll that Sarge can do to get Wolfgang's attention again, so he doesn't brush him off?
I'm gonna say, actually, we're gonna leave this up to a fate die, because that's a very interesting narrative pull. Because I want to ask, I don't think Sarge has brought this up with the rest of us, has he?
No.
And you got to keep in mind, Rat and Zuriel are watching this. This is a revelation for the group. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and roll on the chaos factor. We're at a +3. I'm arguing that this does get Wolfgang interested, at the very least, in humoring Sarge long enough to get him somewhere. Any objections?
None here.
No. All right.
All right, 1 second.
Wolfgang is gonna close his journal, and he's gonna lean back in his seat.
Okay.
And he says, "Well, what do you know right now?"
Rat will, in the middle of that, Rat will lean over to Z and say, I didn't think he was serious.
Zuriel is watching.
Because he did
with
mention he had
the-
metal in him before, but he, again, didn't think it was serious.
Right, we thought it was metaphorical.
Zuriel is watching with the utmost focus. Like he doesn't even really respond to what Rat says. He's just like staring intently on this.
Alright, Fate, what do you say?
Sarge is gonna pull out the journal he's been taking his notes on the ooze with. Far as I can tell, in my, of course, limited experience, the substance that is carrying this effect functions less like a toxic substance and more as a parasite, a symbiote even. Though to what extent it veers from one to the other, I couldn't say. It responds in a rather hostile manner when interacted with outside of a host who has not been fully integrated, we shall say.
Wolfgang-
go ahead.
Go on. No, go on.
When we happened upon some subjects who were in various stages of infection, implantation, I couldn't say which, those who were further along, the substance appeared to be more settled, whereas those who had who were not notably far along in the process, it seemed to almost seek new hosts. I can't say if it was defending its territory or if it's just a little less guided in its aims.
Wolfgang is gonna take the journal that you were writing in and look it over as you're talking. And he says, "This is certainly something that I have not seen before. And you said that this was because of the metal dragon that was here not long ago?"
Yes, from the fully converted subjects, they exhibited a dogma and almost religious fervor to further this infection, this implantation, to all possible. They singled out this draconic entity as their god of sorts.
Ah, so it must be something of a hive mind, where the parasite might be messing with the host's nervous system and brain in order to make it love the thing that it is making it sick instead of hating it.
See, that's exactly what I was thinking, but I can't, as we have not been able to acquire any of the expired subjects, I have no way of knowing what the form of this interaction is, or indeed if there's any way to forestall it. I can certainly see if we could weed out some of the undesirable aspects of this condition, it even being beneficial later on. Certainly strengthening the flesh of infantry is something my higher-ups would have wanted to have a hand in back when I was still in the service, and there's also applications for reclaiming mobility and the like, but the upper limits of this, as well as the insurance of proper controls are something I'm very interested in. I just need someone who's a bit more. At this, he'll even almost disdainfully look down in a way and rub the back of his neck. A bit more, shall we say?
Knowledgeable.
Yes, yes. I can admit that my training has been, while comprehensive, it has been rather focused on mending the flesh, not on improving it, or indeed on more exotic ailments. You strike me as someone who is well traveled and well learned, and I'd be a fool if I didn't seek your help in this matter.
Wolfgang is going to close your journal and slide it back to you on the table. There is one thing that I might want to give advice about. Smile more, talk less. I do not have any other information on this thing. I do not want to know more about this thing. It seems dangerous, and frankly, if it were to die out, I would be happy. If we can treat it, fine. If not, oh well. It seems that this parasite, or whatever it is, seems to be giving its host supernatural abilities. Someone like that? I personally think that's a good thing. Oh well.
Sarge takes back his journal, stares at it almost in an almost forlorn fashion. That there's sense in that, I can certainly say, and I won't pretend I'm not disappointed. But if that's the way it is, that's the way it is. I won't take up any more of your time, and
I
I
appreciate
will
it, sir.
take your advice under consideration. And I think for the first time since Wolfgang has met him, certainly. But I believe for the first time since he's joined the group, he gives a very broad smile that doesn't reach his eyes. You've taught me a lot today. I hope to one day return the favor.
Is anyone else just picturing like the face Anya makes from Spy Family, but just on your character?
I don't even go to Hamilton and I made a Hamilton reference. Come on.
Yeah.
I literally had myself muted, so I didn't make any remarks because I didn't want to interrupt that. And you said that, and I said, "Okay, Ehrenberg."
And Sarge will make his leave.
Okay, so then the question is, do Zuriel and Rat go talk to Sarge, or one of you gonna keep following Wolfgang?
I'm gonna keep following Wolfgang.
Okay. What about you, Rat?
Gonna do the same, yeah.
What?
Rat is gonna do the same, yeah.
Okay, then as you notice your allies are gonna follow Wolfgang in hiding, what do you want to do, Sarge?
Sarge, because he wouldn't be of much help in the following, especially now that he's like a known quantity to Wolfgang.
Yeah.
So I think he's just going to head back to Markov and Wonder to regroup and share his insights from that interaction.
Okay. If we can have Zuriel and Rat roll another stealth check.
I'm so anxious, but I've got.
It's not great.
Okay, 17's gonna be a little short.
Oh,
Okay.
that's bad.
Zuriel, do
Hey,
you have
I'm using a hero. I'm gonna use a
Okay.
hero point.
It was good you saved it. It was good that you saved it.
Oh, that's
Are you
worse.
fucking kidding me?
Okay.
Did I say that
Oh,
Sergeant
I
was
have-
going back to regroup? I meant he was going to start a commotion at the bar.
I have like 1 hero point left. I've only used 2.
It's up to you.
I really want. Okay. I want this one to work. I want this one to work. Please. I'm in hell. This is hell. I'm in hell. Okay.
All right, we will come back
Ready to die.
We'll come back to what happens to those two later as we cut over. I want to say, I don't think there needs to be any like amount of time taken for Wander and Markov to talk to the nobles that we talked to last time. I think it makes more
Yeah.
sense that we cut to them as they're leaving.
Yeah.
Okay, so Wander's focused on basically trying to get back with the others and meeting up with them as soon as possible. And he's kind of like openly talking out loud and just not really paying attention to what he's doing.
As Wander is like talking to himself and like fiddling around with stuff, Markov is gonna like lean down so his head's like next to the other's ear, and he says, "So what was that letter?"
So first of all, personal space, thank you, and kind of like tries to push Markov away, but in that way where he just like pushes himself away from Markov. Second of all, can you be more specific? I got a lot of letters, and it was mostly just different jobs, ads, and a letter from my family. Also, the fucking excuse me, what?
You are not very stealthy.
Wasn't trying to be. I told you I had errands to run, and I did.
You burned a letter earlier today.
Oh, that. This is just a junk mail. Sound to the wrong person.
Is it?
you wanna roll for that?
Maybe.
Roll a perception check. You gotta. Let me double check what Wander's will save would be. 18. Oh yeah, that'd be. Yeah, Markov, you've been around Wander long enough that like when you really catch him on something, he's really bad at lying.
It seemed like more than just junk mail.
How about this, Markov? When you stop being a sneaky snake about what you were doing at that burning castle, I'll start letting you go through my junk mail.
I did not start that fire. But it's always burning since the world's returning.
I promise you, it was just a little bit of family drama, and I didn't really want anything to do with it at the moment. We got more important things to go on about.
Very well.
Quit following me when I got errands to run. You know, as much as I love you guys, I like being alone sometimes.
It was the elf's idea.
God damn it.
You motherfucker!
Markov, I really don't care whose idea it was. It could have been Rat's idea. You're still a grown-ass man, and
Why would it be my idea?
it's like, oh, hey, Sarge.
Gentlemen, how'd your business go?
He has family drama.
Would you shut the fuck? The nobles know about Wolfgang, and they're gonna keep an eye on it, but they're not gonna jump to any conclusions without real issues involved. They're letting us take the lead on this, as requested. I'm assuming negotiations didn't go very far.
No, they did not. And if I'm being perfectly honest, I'm pretty sure I've been made.
Damn it.
Can't say to what extent. All I know is I wasn't able to earn his trust. Granted, I don't think there's any trust to earn. That man has the smile of a sidewinder. I wouldn't trust him with. Well, I wouldn't trust him if he told me that the sun was up and it was shining right in my face.
Understandable. All right, let's go. And I'm assuming that the fact that Rat and Zuriel aren't with you is because they kind of kept sneaking.
One hopes, so long as they didn't mess it up.
Well, if you want
Both
to
of
go,
them dead on the floor.
I'm so scared.
One of them's in the Peter Griffin fall over pose. The other one's in the Yamcha dead pose.
I'm so scared.
All right, you mind taking us to where you saw him last, so we can see what's going on?
Yep, might as well get to it.
Congratulations, Markov. You're gonna get to bash someone's head in today. Your favorite.
Oh man, I just cracked my knuckles. I can't do it now. But he cracks his knuckles.
Here, I'll do it for you. Back
Okay.
it up.
Oh, that one
Just
did.
a little bit.
You're
So
welcome.
as we cut back over to Zuriel and Rat, and as we get ready to wrap up, what I want to ask is, for Zuriel and Rat, how bad do you think this is about to go for you guys?
Oh, I'm so scared. Why would you do this to me?
Like, on a scale of 1 to 5, like genuinely, with the situation at hand, how in trouble do you think you guys are?
Rat's a
Honestly-
5, Z's a 1.
Why?
Because once Rat realizes shit is fucked, he knows he's like, after what Wander said, he knows that fucker wants him.
Oh, because I was also gonna say, like, whatever happens if they get caught, Zuriel will do whatever to just kind of like push Rat into being like actually hidden, and then himself just be caught.
Okay, then I'm going to do this. Okay,
I'm so scared.
so I feel like Wolfgang eventually gets to a point where they start rounding different corners and alleys, and they're not really like going anywhere in particular until eventually you guys are forced to kind of like be in a two-way alley where Wolfgang could just keep walking and around another corner, but instead they turn around and they address you.
And who-
Right as he stops and like starts to turn around, I want to push like Rat into a hiding spot and like try to get him to go.
Okay, Rat, will you allow that to happen?
Rat would just stop and then put his hands gently on Zuriel's shoulders and just say, "Come find me." And then he's gonna cast Sanctuary on Zuriel, and then just kind of stands there. He will not move.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna say then, even though you're not moving, you're also not actively fighting against this. So I'm gonna say, Zuriel, go ahead and roll me an athletics check.
Okay.
I was just imagining Zuriel shoving Rat into like a pile of garbage.
Like whatever is near to like hide him.
Yeah. So, what is your fortitude save, Rat,
My fortitude save,
or your DC? So it'd be your fortitude bonus plus 10.
21.
Okay.
Oh.
There's a part of you that like you try to push Rat. Rat doesn't budge. He just kind of like freezes up, and you round the corner, but Rat stays against the wall. I'm gonna go ahead and roll something to see if he notices that rat is there. He doesn't. He doesn't realize that there's two of you following him. He just sees Zuriel.
Excellent.
Okay.
And who do I have the pleasure tonight?
Z. You can call me Z.
What do you want? I don't have any money on me.
Oh, that's okay. I'm not interested in money. I'm more of a curious sort. You looked interesting.
Go. What does he say? He says, I have nothing of interest. Go, leave me.
Well, that's something interesting people say.
He takes a dagger out from his side. He says, well, this is quite interesting.
I'm also gonna make note. It's not just that Wolfgang takes out the knife. He flourishes and sort of spins it in hand, giving you the concept, Zuriel. Wolfgang knows how to use that knife intimately.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Zuriel is just gonna stand there. He's not gonna make any sort of hostile movement or anything. He's just gonna stand there.
Okay.
What brings you to Banahal?
I have two options. And I want to know which one I should choose. First one. Wolfgang just up and keeps on walking away. Second one. He attacks Zuriel.
I'm gonna be honest, I feel like at this stage, with both making Sarge and Zuriel now also giving off very uncomfortable vibes, I kind of feel like Wolfgang's gonna start getting on the offensive here. Wolfgang is his peace is being disturbed several times, and even if Wolfgang wasn't paranoid, I think he's just bothered and he wants to get some aggression out.
Yeah. So he's gonna try and go up and at least scare you off.
So what I'm
that
gonna
counts as an attack that will take a spell DC 18 will save.
All right, because I don't have a DC set for him, we'll go instead and say will save. We'll roll a dry D20 and then we'll add 2 to it.
Okay.
I'm so scared.
15.
That. How much is a crit failure? It's by
10.
By 10. So that is a regular failure, so they can't attack. It essentially is like how Rat Sanctuary would work is that when they attack, there is a instance where they see the point of a death they can have, and they just stop. And they cannot continue to attack them for a turn, which would be 6 seconds.
Okay, I like this idea that Wolfgang freezes up, it is trying to push against the force that is keeping him from attacking Zuriel. More so now, sort of gauging the situation. He's not continuously trying to attack Zuriel, but at the same time, he's not lowering the knife.
I would just like a conversation, if that's okay. A few questions.
Why were you following me?
To catch you in the conversation. I mean, just kept walking away, so.
It's been 6 seconds.
Say what?
A few questions, if you don't mind.
I'm actually gonna want to roll for something else. So here is a question again for Ryan for when it comes to Wolfgang. Wolfgang cannot attack. Wolfgang does not want to be bothered, and he's talking to someone who is not engaging correctly. Out of a 1 to 10, how done is Wolfgang with this entire scenario?
He's probably at good like a 7, 6 or a 7.
Okay, then I do know what I want to roll.
1 out of 10. How much is Zuriel so fucking scared right now? A 10. He is fucking terrified. And he's just hoping that the others in his party will magically show up.
I definitely get the vibe that Zuriel's trying to waste his time.
Yep.
The problem is I think Wolfgang's, like, getting wise to that. So, we're gonna go ahead. Hun, can you roll me a D100 on the random event table?
Beep.
14.
Oh boy.
A dragon comes down and saves him.
Oh god.
Oh god. Zuriel just screaming.
Okay. So we got a new NPC, but to make this a little more interesting, I'm gonna roll, and we're gonna see if they're here to help Zuriel or harm Zuriel.
Oh man.
Okay. So that's interesting.
Didn't like the way you said "oh" there.
I also got a little too jumpy because I actually did the math wrong. So give me a couple minutes because I have to roll on a lot of descriptor tables now.
Was nice knowing you guys.
I was gonna say it could be Noir.
No, I think this is something new.
Okay.
I can totally see Noir coming in. It's like, that one's mine.
That one's mine. Don't touch him.
Ceaselessly. Oh. So I got ceaselessly mighty.
Mm.
So
He has a henchman.
I think he has a henchman, but now here's the thing that I want to propose. I'm wondering if it's a very large henchman that's clothed in rags, so we can't necessarily see what it is.
I know of a character. That is if Ari is okay with bringing that fucker back.
Who?
Zenarak's old apostate? Or apostate's not the word. The
Apostle?
apostle, yeah, the person that was with him in order to see the light of Bahamut, but then went to
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I don't know anything about this. Please elaborate.
What is going on? Am I about to die? I think I'm about
Maybe.
to die. Great. This is so fantastic. I'm so glad I got to play this character finally.
So can we get a description of like what this person is?
Miles.
Fuck,
I don't remember them a
him.
lot either.
So I'm just gonna change them based. I'm gonna still go with Baz's description, but essentially what you see is this 7-foot tall, you assume 400 pounds beast, essentially covered in rags and stuff, with a wide brimmed hat on. It looks like a preacher's
Oh,
cap.
was that Clint?
Clint, yes, but I'm
Oh my
essentially
God,
going
it's
where
Clint!
Clint is wrong. So that preacher's cap is covered and it has a veil over the top of it to hide his face, and this thing just approaches and stands there silent.
I think with that, you know what this kind of sounds like? It sounds like if you guys know Mr. X from Resident Evil, but he had a veil over his face.
That was basically Clint.
Yeah.
Is he like where are they standing?
So
Walking right up behind fuckface.
So this is what I imagine happens. This large being very quietly and almost very quickly seems to grab Wolfgang and throw them behind him as this lumbering man starts to just stomp towards you, Zuriel.
Oh,
The
you're
knock
large. You're large. Hi, my name is Z. Nice to meet you. I think you can stop walking up to me now.
So this is the question I have for both Zuriel and Rat. Wolfgang is no longer your priority. This large fucker is actively charging towards you, Zuriel. What do both of you do until we get there in time?
I'm gonna turn into a bear.
And also Sanctuary pops, and I'm gonna see about that. I'm going to say this guy has a plus.
I have an
9
idea.
to will.
I have an idea of what I want us to fight, but I want to save it for next time. So
Okay.
we'll keep that in mind. So what I'm hearing is you guys are going to engage.
Yeah.
More so, just basically yes. Not gonna say no. But Zuriel turns into a bear just because this guy's big. I can be big.
Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and roll a d10. Okay. So, now the question comes down to, can we get there in time? I think it's likely because we're taking this very seriously, and now that you guys are engaging with the bear, you're making a commotion. Rolling the dice. Ooh.
Pain?
All right.
If I remember correctly, under 10 is a no.
When we come back, it is going to be, and I'll figure out how I want to do the severity of this, but it's going to be a race for Markov, Loc, and Sarge to get to their teammates in time, as you guys have to face a surprise boss monster, and I'm going to show you what you guys are fighting.
Fantastic! Boss?
Pain.
That's so cool. That's so cool and awesome and cool and not scary at all.
Right? You have a giant flesh golem that you gotta fight now.
Yeah, that was my idea. Is that essentially Ari is that Clint works for this guy, but he became an experiment of this guy.
Oh yeah.
So let me
Poor Clint.
introduce
Clint.
you guys to what we're gonna be dealing with next session.
You don't have to.
Oh my god!
Oh,
I hate it.
Oh.
Fuck that.
Oh my
say
God.
say hello to the skin stitch.
I hate it.
It's
Wish I
level
could.
I'm going to
6.
die.
I hate that.
That's so cool.
So
Clint.
I really wish I could, but it wouldn't load for me, so I guess I'm spared.
it didn't load for you?
I hate that.
Yeah, it wouldn't give me the image.
How about now?
Yeah, I think it's my browser that's the problem.
Okay, that's cool. This is what I'm gonna do for you, buddy, so you don't feel left out.
No, you don't have to. It's fine.
No, you get to
Just check
experience
it out.
it
Check
too.
it out. Look at the
Okay.
Discord screen. Check it out.
I'm gonna die. Well,
I'm in
series wrap on
danger.
Z. Series wrap
You
on
know-
Z, guys. It was nice.
You know, I really miss that team member we used to have named Zuriel. Zuriel, that's it. Yeah, I miss
Oh yeah,
that
I miss Zed too.
Yeah.
Z squared.
Zed Squid. The hero formerly known as Zed.
guy.
So next week, I'll figure out how many turns it's gonna take, but essentially we'll be doing combat, and Rat and Zuriel are going to have to survive at level 4, fighting a level 6 boss, while the three of us desperately try to get there in time.
I sure am glad we had the stealthy people over here, so they won't get caught for sure.
Meanwhile,
It's just us screaming.
Oh,
it's just
God.
rats screaming, like so hard he's starting to gurgle blood because his lungs exploded. Zuriel is screaming
no.
in bear.
And if you listen really closely, you can hear X gon' give it to you playing.
As they're running away.
It
I
just
think-
every time they round the corner and the skin stitch is like right behind them, it's like you hear the music get quieter and then louder again.
No. I'm so scared.
I'm so excited.
If I technically can't do it right now, I know at like start the next session, Zuriel is gonna be sending his snake to like meet halfway with the other guys in a panic. Wiggles in panic.
You've never seen a snake have a seizure before, but now you are.
With that, that'll be the end of section 6 of What Are You Doing Today? What are we doing today? We're dying, apparently.
No, that's next week.
Possibly. For anybody who wants to shout out themselves or someone else, this is the time to do it. We'll go ahead and start with Miles.
I'm gonna shout myself out because tomorrow I am going to be doing the first in a little test thing I'm doing, which is a narrative campaign for Warhammer 40k, the tabletop. And me and my buddy Rin have worked really hard on that, so please come watch and enjoy.
And that'll be at
I'm excited.
Cade's Robotic Nut on Twitch. And, babe, do you want to promote any of your stuff?
If you need art done, find me at Cherry Coke Royal on any social media.
They draw the good. You can tell because 4 of our 5 portraits were made by them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And they're amazing.
Yep. Ellie, do you want to promote anything?
I don't know exactly when yet, but I do plan on starting, actually starting to stream on my channel, which is Ellie, the number 2, Jewel. But I just need to find a set day to have a good schedule going.
Nice, nice. Worm.
And later today, and at various times throughout the coming week, you can look for me on Twitch at Wormhole. That is WYRM.
You
I
had
didn't
it, you
misspell
had it.
that. Woohoo! WYRMHOLD on Twitch. I will be playing specifically Tiny Tina's Wonderland this week,
Ooh.
so it should be fun.
Nice.
And I gotta say, I've seen Worm's test stream layout. It's fucking beautiful. It's really nice. And then, of course, you can find more shenanigans here on Basil Not the Herb. Later this week, tomorrow, I'm going to try and grab up a couple of people for Remnant 2's new DLC drop. So we'll be going into that. Wednesday, I will be doing the first of our runs with my new FF14 static. We'll be meeting a lot of new faces and a lot of new peoples and trying out some harder content in Final Fantasy XIV. Thursday, I believe we're going to be picking up either more Sea of Stars or the new Warhammer game, and then Friday will be more of the FF14. In between all that, I'll be jumping into other people's streams, playing games with them, between Dead by Daylight, Apex Legends, etc. Make sure to keep an eye out, join the Discord below, follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky, because when Twitter finally just dies, while the bird may die, the sky remains.
Nice.
Damn, that was good.
I'm very happy with myself on that one.
Look at you, Basil. You're so clever.
I'll be posting the past couple of sessions on YouTube more properly now that we've got a really cool thumbnail art made for it. Those will be coming out in the following days, including this. Once again, Basil